Hello, Southern Oaks families. We're starting a new tradition here at Southern Oaks. It's called Stallion Storytime, and I'm here with my friend Boomerang, who I'm going to read a book with. And you'll be able to watch this as a family together. I'll have a few questions at the end. If you answer those questions and bring them in, your name will go in a box for a prize each week. The first book that we're going to read is called How Full Is Your Bucket? And this was written by Tom Rath and Mary Reckmeyer. Boomerang, what do you think? Felix was one of the last blocks on his tire when his little sister came in. "I want to build with you," she said. "Go away, you're too little," Felix scowled. Oh, Boomerang, that's not nice, is it? Oh. "I'm big. Stay back. You'll knock it over." "I can be very careful." "Go play with your baby toys, Anna." She sees Felix and she scribbles his face out. Thwack! Down goes the tire. "Grandpa!" Grandpa just shook his head. "Felix, you just dipped from your sister's bucket. Like everyone else, Anna has an invisible bucket. When it's empty, she feels bad. But when it's full, she feels great. Did you ever notice your own bucket?" Did you know that, Boomerang? Do you know we all had our own bucket? Invisible bucket? Sometimes Felix couldn't quite tell when his grandfather was joking and when he was serious. But the next morning when Felix woke up, there it was, a small gray bucket floating above his head. When Felix came down to breakfast, his mom was in a hurry. "I've got a meeting this morning and it's almost time to go. Anna, sit still." Look at Felix. He's trying to get some cereal. And Felix slipped and cocoa wheat scattered across the floor. "Felix," yelled his mom, "you should have used the stool to reach that." Felix could feel his bucket tip and big invisible drips spill out. Drip, drip. "Ha ha," Anna laughed as she crunched the cereal with her shoes. Drip. "Get the broom and clean that up before you miss the bus," scolded Mom. With the school bus honking, Felix quickly swept up the cocoa wheats and grabbed the last blueberry muffin. But before he could even take one little bite, guess what happened? What do you think, Boomerang? Buster jumped up and grabbed the muffin from his hand. Drip. "Hey, look at Felix's new backpack. My baby brother has one just like it," said this kid on the bus. Another drip from his bucket. Drip. Look at his friends. They're laughing at him. "Watch out, Shrimp," said the big kid. Another drip from his bucket. He's having a bad day, isn't he, Boomerang? It was still morning and Felix's bucket felt almost empty. As he watched his classmates walk into the room, he secretly hoped that they would trip and fall. That's what it feels like when you have an empty bucket. You just don't want anything good to happen. Felix slumped into his seat and waited for something else bad to happen. Miss Bumpernickel walked slowly up to his desk and handed him a paper he could hardly bear to look. "Felix, you wrote a wonderful story. Would you please share it with the class?" Felix grinned and felt a big drop land right in his bucket. Drop, plink, plop, drop. This Giganosaurus who wanted to be pecked by me, Felix. The class grew quiet. They laughed at all the right places and oohed at the scary parts. When Felix finally read the end, everyone clapped. Even Emily, who sat next to him and usually didn't like dinosaurs. Felix felt a whole shower of drops land in his bucket. maybe the day wouldn't be so bad after all. Looking up, isn't it, Boomerang?
Yep.
Another drop in his bucket. Team captain today are Veronica and Felix. Another drop. He's painting here and his teacher says, nice cow. It's a dog. Well, nice colors there, Felix. Still a drop in his bucket. Cool laser ant backpack, Felix. Another drop in his bucket. By afternoon, Felix's bucket was almost full. At recess, when he looked around, Felix suddenly realized that his grandpa was right. Everyone else had a bucket too. He could see the buckets above their head now. What do you think he's going to do? Boomerang, do you think he's going to be nice to him? See the buckets? And it says drop, drop because Felix said, let me help you. There's another drop because he says, here's your baseball catch. Thanks, dude, he says. More drops. He finds a friend and he says, hi, I'm Felix. First day? He says, yes, I'm Amir. The strange thing was that for every drop he helped put in someone else's bucket, he felt another drop in his own bucket too. Look how full his bucket's getting. When Felix bust through the door after school, he shouted, you were right, Grandpa. I do have a bucket and I understand how it works. Then he saw Anna's torn dog. Bad dog, he almost scolded. But then he thought, dogs might have buckets too. What do you think, Boomerang? Do horses have buckets? Yeah? Your dog will be okay, Anna, said Felix. Mom will fix her. And Anna's still crying about her dog. Until then, do you want me to help you build the tallest building in the world with my blocks? And so they did, and they both have very full buckets. So your task for this story is to write 2 things that you did to help fill somebody's bucket and bring those to class or to school next week. And if you give them to me, I'll put your name in a hat and we'll see who gets the prize. Thank you for joining our very first Stallion Storytime.